Take a look at my shirt. Read what it says. I love my J.O.B. Yeah. I do. Thank you so much for hopping over. Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is so good to be with you for yet another minute. And in this video, we are going to talk all about their we're gonna talk all about my J.O.B. Yeah, let's put it together. That says job. We're gonna talk all about my job. Yeah, my J.O.B. Are you in a job that you don't like? Well, you need to get out. Honestly, if you don't like it, you need to get out. Get out. What is keeping you there still? You need to get out. So if you got a job, you would know exactly, and you can relate to some of the things that I am going to talk about. Even though our jobs may not be the same, you definitely may be able to relate. 5 things that I'm going to talk about that people have misconceptions about when it comes to teaching. So for those of you who don't know, I'm a teacher, and I have been a teacher for 11 years now. So this year would actually make my 11th year of teaching, and I have been a teacher for that amount of years. Sometimes it feels as though I just started teaching like some months ago or some years ago, but it has been that long, and I am so grateful for like the experiences that I keep getting from teaching. And I must say that these experiences have really helped me to build as an individual and also in my profession. So there are 5 things that I just think that people consistently have misconceptions about when it comes to teaching. My number 1 would be that teachers, we get a fat salary. Do we? No, we don't. We do not get a fat salary. I don't know for like some other places, but where I am in the Caribbean, it's not like that. Our salary is no way fat. Think about how many jobs we do as teachers. On a daily basis, we do not only teach. That's one thing. And people have a lot of misconception about that. So I'll get into that point a little bit later. But we do not get the amount of money that we should get to see that we are actually building a foundation. We are actually building a foundation, and this foundation that we are building will actually become somebody in life, and then they will be able to establish their own foundation. So we are building individuals to build our society. And because of this, I think that we should be respected more. Not only should we be respected more, but we should also be treated well. I think that we should be rewarded well. Like, yeah, we should be rewarded well. I know in everything we have like the bad eggs, people who don't perform, people who don't do their job as they should, but minus that, the job of a teacher is and can be a real stressful job. And these days we have a lot of teachers getting sick because of the stress of the job. Yeah, the stress of the job. Point number 2. I think that a lot of people, they think teaching job is just to stand up in front of the class and teach. You teach like a sage on the stage. So your job should be just to parade the class. You walk around, you see who's doing their work right, and that kind of stuff. And other than that, you should be up in front of the class all the time, directing all the learning. While that is a part of teaching, it does not make up the wholeness of teaching. Sometimes as teachers, we don't have to stand up in front of our class to even give instructions or to direct learning. We can sit with our students. We can also give written instructions and just observe to see who is actually using the instructions as they were given and who is able to work using instructions as given rather than to be prompting. Yeah. The next thing with that is that today students should be learning on their own, so they should be discovering, they should be exploring, they should also be doing research and stuff like that, and they learn a lot better, and teaching works even better when they learn from their peers, and also when they're called to be the teachers, when they're called to be the presenters, they do learn a lot from that. So teaching should not just be a job where we stand up in front of the class and we just keep yup, yeah, and we write on the board from time to time and that's it. No way. And I know a lot of the times we are being judged on that. Like sometimes people might pass across your class, and because they don't see you standing in front of your class, it means that you're not teaching. It means that you're not doing anything. Well, that's good for them. But if you know the reality and you know that you are doing your work, you need not worry. Make sense? Number 3, I think that a lot of people have misconception when it comes to our job description. So a lot of people have this misconception that we just teach every day and there is nothing else, or we should do nothing else but, you know, impart learning, and learning should always be something as formal and that kind of thing. But contrary to that belief, a lot of what students learn, they do learn it from the informal things that you do. Yeah, and I know that people just think that we should be like that, but there's something that's called informal learning, and children learn a lot from informal learning. That's where they learn from doing things and not even realize that they're doing tasks, or they are doing things that is not so formal, where you have the actual class setting and all that. Yeah. And those sometimes are even more meaningful. I don't know if I make myself clear, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. The next big misconception that people have about teachers is that we teachers, we know everything. Big fat misconception. We know everything. We know it all. And that is a really big misconception. And who don't have that misconception? They think we should know it. We should know it. You should know it. You're a teacher. You should know it. You should know it. You should know it. You're a teacher. You should know it. Is that it? Well, contrary to that belief, we don't know it all. And we are still learning, just like our students are learning. Sometimes a lot of the students, they will come to the class with ideas or with things that we are not even sure about, things that we don't even know, and words that might not even be in our vocab, they might come with it. Yeah, so what should we do when they come to the class with these big vocabs and things that we don't know? Should we pretend that we know them when we know for sure we don't know them? No. We should not even pretend that we know them. We should say, well, you know what, I'll get back to you on that. I would have to do some more research on that. And have the students know that you don't know it. If you pretend like you know it, then they're going to think that you always know it. And because of that, it's like the pressure would always be on you. Like that. I mean, it's good to update yourself with knowledge and all that, So as a teacher, it's good to always seek knowledge. Like, it's always good to research and be abreast with changes and with what's going on. But sometimes you can never be too abreast. You can never be too updated because things are changing every day. How often? So it's life. Just so you don't know it, and you research it and you move on and you get back to that. Also, you have ICT in your classroom. So a lot of children, they come to the school with phones, they come to the school with tablets and stuff like that. You might have computer at school. Research it. Find an answer for them. If you don't know it, then you bring a resource person into your class who might know it better than you. Yeah. Well, at least that's what I do, or I would do. The next big misconception that people have about teachers, and this one might just apply for my country or for where I'm living. I'm not sure if it applies to other places, but this is the misconception that people have about us as teachers. They think that when the students get their holidays, that those holidays also automatically belongs to us. So I don't know where you're living, if this is the same thing, but in my country, it's definitely not. So when the students have their break, like summer break, or they have Easter break in my country, these holidays, they do not belong to us. So we cannot just get up and go jump on a plane and say, oh, we are going away, and have no care in the world. No, that's not how it works. For us, we actually have to go through a process to apply for these holidays. And if they're not granted to us, we cannot go anywhere because of the fact that they do not belong to us. It's not our holidays. It is the students' holidays. So it is their time to refresh themselves, to get rest, to relax, and all that. And the perks of being a teacher, we get to enjoy those in our homeland if we are not traveling, and if we sign up for the holidays and they were granted, we get to enjoy them too. But if it's not, then we don't get to enjoy them. If they need you for something, let's say a workshop, or they need you for something official, you are expected to show up because of the fact that the holidays does not belong to you. If they have something scheduled for that date, and let's say you want to take your holiday and it is very important, they can deny your vacation. So it is not all like people think it is, that it is our holidays. They don't belong to us. It's not ours. And that's why we can take holidays during our school year. But for most teachers, because of the fact that you want to be there for your students, as a teacher, you want to like keep the process going, and you want to keep it going where you don't have any interruptions and that kind of stuff, because you know how it is as a learner to catch up on things that are missing. And even for you, it might be strenuous to go, come back, and that kind of thing. So unless it's not an emergency, a lot of teachers would not just take their vacation time during the school year. And that's a good thing, you know. But hey, we can take it. But hey, outside. So that's why we would generally go for the time that the children are on vacation. Really and truly, it's not our holiday, but we just would prefer that method. It's just a better fit. It makes things work in unison and all that, and with your timeline of covering your work that has to be done in the class and all that, it just makes sense, if you understand what I mean. And the final thing, the final big misconception that people have about teachers is that our job starts at, well, in my country, 8:15 or 8:45, and it ends at 3 o'clock. That's so not true. I think that teaching is one of those professions where your job is never done. Like, so it's like this thing where the work just rolls over, it roll, you know. So the work from yesterday is gonna roll over tomorrow. The work from tomorrow is gonna roll over the next day, and it is always gonna roll over because of the fact that reinforcement is needed for children to learn. Not only that, but our job is never done, it's never completed. So you may leave work and you might say, yeah, I finished working, but then while you're at home, you're still working. Why? Because there might be a student in your class that you just so much care about, and you have to start preparing your mind. How are you going to deal with that child tomorrow? That's work. It is work. As simple as that it is. And the next thing is that with resources and stuff like that, you're at home and you try to gather resources from around your house and around your community or around your surroundings all the time. So sometimes even when you're out, you might be out on a date and you're trying to get a bottle cover. Why? Because you wanted to teach a concept. You want to use it so that you can give the children manipulatives and stuff like that. It's not all the time that you have the money to buy these things, and sometimes whatever is being supplied to you, sometimes it's just not enough. So you always have to take your money, you always have to dig into your purse, and not only dig into your purse, but you always have to be on the scavenger hunt type of thing. Yeah. So you always have to be looking for stuff around your environment and that kind of stuff. So your work, generally, it's never done. And that is how it goes. There are lots of teachers who would take homework from the day, whether it's just papers to mark or it's just lesson plans to write, whatever it is. You would take homework, and that's how it continues. So it's like from the simplest up to the highest. You go home and you're trying to function around the house, but yet you still have to be thinking about items for tests. You have to be thinking about other things, and then eventually you might come to the computer, sit down, start typing your tests and all that. It is work. And one thing I would say to people, like especially today, in this time, especially in this era, that they must not go into a job if they know that they don't like it, and if they know that it's not something that they have a passion for. Because if you don't have a passion for it, it's always going to seem as though you're doing work. If you don't have a mindset to it, it's always going to be hard for you to do. And definitely teaching is one of those things, because your work does not finish at work. And that's the true hard fact about it. You know, like sometimes you're doing office work and stuff like that. You know, once you finish your calculations, that type of thing, that's it for the day. And then the new day, it's going to be like a new petty cash. It's going to be like a new system and all that. Obviously, teaching is not that. That's how it was. That's how it's going to be. And the reason for that is because of the way that learning is structured. You need a lot of reinforcement, and also knowledge is not just had like from one sitting of doing it. And it's the hard reality of it that there's always going to be somebody who is struggling, and you just have to deal with that. So I hope that you did enjoy my video, and that you have learned a few things, and that you will make sure that you choose your career wisely, that you make sure that you get into something that you truly love, something that you want to do, something that your heart truly desire, and don't just get in it, and don't just get into it for the money. Because I think that this has been something that has been bothering a lot of teachers. Like, they just get into it because it's just another job, it's not just another work, and it's just something else to keep you out of poverty. It's just something else to give you some stats in society. It's just something else so that you can be seen or you can be heard. Yeah, it's just something else to keep you from doing other things that, you know, you might be led astray to do. Don't get caught up in that. I mean, things do happen, and if you want to do it for that purpose, then you should think of doing it just for a short time and then see how well you can branch off to what you really love, what you desire. That would be my advice to you. And I hope that you really did enjoy the content of this video, and that you will continue to come back to my channel, and that we can grow together. Like, yeah, thank you so much for watching my video. It was so good doing this video for you. Like this video with a thumbs up, you would comment, you would also hit that subscribe button, and of course I hope that you will continue to stay safe, stay blessed, and you may pop well. Take on possibilities. Until next time, hope to see you in the next video. Bye now. Bye now.